Hi, Magix has changed how MusicMaker works over the last couple of years. Now, the engine is free and is shared by the free version and the Plus and Premium versions. The difference between the free version and Plus and Premium is that you get more presets, features, instruments, and Soundpools. See the comparison table on the Magix.com website. Thus, if you've already installed MusicMaker 2019 and you purchase a new edition, you don't have to reinstall the main program, only activate the new edition and download and install everything new that comes with it. In this first part of getting started, we'll look at installing the MusicMaker engine and what happens with the free version. Then we'll look at activating new and previous versions, downloading and installing everything to which you're entitled, and a quick overview of program and project settings and the user interface. Let's get started. When you download the free program from the Magix.com site, execute it and follow the instructions. If you accept the update from within an older version of MusicMaker, you execute it by clicking on Perform Update Now and then Update Immediately. This starts the installer. An option to change the program language will appear. Next is the welcome screen with some options. Change default settings, select additional software, license agreements, and privacy statement. Select Change Default Settings. This brings up installation options, select target paths, and desktop shortcut. Select target paths. Here you can select the location of the program files, drive C by default. For those of you who may have limited space on your C drive, you may want to use another drive that has much more free space. Either way, do not change the rest of the path or it will make it harder to get help if you have problems. Next is templates and effects. Same thing. Put on another drive, but do not change the rest of the path. Then there are content and Soundpools in Magix programs. Magix proposes that they be under public to be available to anyone using your computer. Keep this or use another drive, but keep the Magix and common parts of the path. Last is user files, and again the same thing applies, except that these will be your project files, not program files, so don't mix them in with the program files. This is why Magix proposes to put them under documents. If you have to change the path of any of these, note it down somewhere. I'll keep the defaults and click on Desktop Shortcut. Create Desktop Shortcut is checked by default and I want one, so I'll click on it. Back to the Welcome screen. The additional software proposed is PC Optimization Tool for free. Well, it's free for 1 month only, so I'll deselect it. You can try it out if you want. Click on Agree and Install. If you have MusicMaker 2018 installed, it will be detected, as per this screen, and uninstalled and replaced. Next. Last chance screen. Go back if you want to change anything. I'll install. And the installation starts with stage 1 of 16, which could take quite a while. This is the installation of the free version, as you'll soon see, but it applies to all the other ones as well. Finally, you're done, but a computer restart is required. If you're ready, then click on Finish. If not, uncheck this and click on Finish. Just don't forget to reboot before starting the new MusicMaker. Okay, I've rebooted and I'll start up the new MusicMaker. Wait until it's fully loaded and the welcome screen is showing. This screen has a red Activate Edition button. It will always be red. If you have the free version, don't bother clicking on it. I'll start with Create New Project and then OK. And I'm in. This is the default interface. Wait just a bit and the Activate Edition screen should open. It found the activation codes of some older programs that I have on my computer and the Activate buttons are showing, meaning that I should activate these. At the top is a box to put in a new serial number. If you just purchase Plus or Premium, you can put it in and click on Activate. If you just have the free version, you have no serial number, so you do nothing. For now, I won't activate anything so that you can see more or less what happens with the free version. At the right is the Media Pool and the Loops tab is open. I have a lot of them and they were detected by the new version. Why? Because the default location of Soundpools that I use during installation is the same as where my Soundpools are already located. MusicMaker found them there and loaded the information under Loops. Next is the Instruments tab. I already had them, but now they show up as locked. Why? Because I haven't activated anything. However, any instruments that came with the free version should show up, like Concert Grand LE. I'll skip over the File Manager and click on the Store tab, and we see a bunch of Soundpools for sale. I'll click on the drop-down beside More Soundpools, and here we can select More Instruments, Presets, Features, and Additions. I'll select More Presets. Here we see presets for Revolta, Plus presets, and Premium presets. Each one is shown for sale because we didn't activate a Plus or Premium version. Next, I'll select More Features. Same here, everything's for sale. Note More Tracks and Formats. The free version only has 8 tracks. If you want more, you have to purchase this or get it with a Plus or Premium version. Next is More Additions for purchase. If you already have purchased one, don't purchase it again. You can click on the I button to see what's included. Back to Instruments. Click on the gear at the right to get a pop-down menu. First on the list is Show Purchased Items. Check this, as we'll need to see these things later on once we activate. Now we've installed MusicMaker, but we probably don't have the latest update or patch. I'll first check to see which version I have. Go to Help, About, and we can see that the present version is 27.0.0.16. Note that there's other information on this screen. I'll close that and go back to Help, Update Program Online, and a message shows up announcing a major program update. If you want to see what's updated, click on New in this update and you'll see the listing. Click on Perform Update Now and the patch is downloaded. We're now asked if we want to update immediately or when the program is closed. I'll choose the first one, and I'm asked if I want to save the project, don't save, or cancel. Well, since I've done nothing, I won't save. The program shuts down and the installation of the patch starts. Are you ready? Install! And away it goes. Good. Done, and click on Finish. If MusicMaker doesn't start automatically, then start it yourself. Again, I'll create a new project. Let's check the update version. Help, About, and there it is, 27.0.2.28. Great! Now before activating, let's check a few more things. Go to File, Settings, Program Settings. You should spend some time going through these on your own, as there are some options that you may want to change. The first tab is General Options. Look at the bottom right. There's a button to clean up Store, which you may want to do if you have problems later on with any purchases or downloads from the store. And there's a button to rescan the Soundpools. Next is the Import tab. Nothing there for now. Then the Audio MIDI tab. This is a very important screen, as this is where you choose your audio driver. You'll need to select an ASIO driver to be able to use the instruments. I suggest reading up on this in the manual. To the right is the input device. If you have an external MIDI device, like a keyboard, and it was turned on before starting MusicMaker, you can select it here. Then there's the Video tab. Nothing here for right now. And finally, the Folders tab. This one is important. During installation, we indicated where we wanted the project files and where the Soundpools are located, and these should show up by default. If not, correct them. I want my projects to be under a subfolder called Projects, so I'll create it myself, if not already done, or add it. The same with exports. I want a subfolder for my exports. Now we'll go to File, Settings, Project Settings. The first tab is General Settings, and here we select the number of tracks. Since we only have the free version for the moment, the most we can have is 8. There's also the audio sample rate of 44.1 kHz selected by default, and the time signature. Note the video resolution. I'm in North America, so I'll select NTSC in case I ever want to make a video here. The best resolution that you can get with MusicMaker is standard definition, not high definition. Next is the Synchronization tab, and lastly, the Information tab, where there will be information about the project. Let's take a quick look at the top menu items. You should review these on your own once you get going. Under File, you have options to save the project or export to WAV or MP3. Then there are editing options for objects, tracks, ranges, and navigation. Then there are effects, including the SongMaker, most importantly audio effects, and then video effects and title effects. Under View, note the first one, Standard Layout, shortcut F4. If something goes wrong with your interface layout, press on the F4 key to get that standard layout back. Next is the Share menu, where you can export to other programs like Magix Movie Edit Pro. Lastly is Help, which we've already seen. But very important is Documentation. Under this is the PDF manual. Click on this to download the manual. A download screen will appear. Download the manual and put it in a folder where you won't forget about it. I recommend reading the Quick Start chapter. Of course, F1 will always bring up the traditional Help interface. Also under Help is Activate Edition. Clicking on this brings up the activation screen that we've already seen. Another way to get this screen is to go to the media pool, click on the gear, and select Activate Edition, and up comes the activation screen. Put in your serial number if you've purchased a new edition, and click on Activate. This time though, I'll select the first one that's proposed under Activation of older programs, as I haven't purchased a new edition. Click on Activate, and I'm asked to log in, which I'll do. Up pops a screen noting that I already own the content from this serial number and that I can download it from the store. I'll close that and wow! All of the editions that I have previously activated are all done. I'll close that and look at that! Under Instruments in the store, where there used to be a lock, is now either a download arrow or an insert arrow, with one exception. I don't have Saxophonia, even though it's been downloaded previously. Look at the bottom of the screen. There's a line that says Balance, Free to Choose, and I have one instrument. If you've just purchased a new edition, you'll likely have more. Choose your instruments carefully. Next I'll go to More Presets. There are download arrows on all three choices, and two of them say Update. This is because I've activated previous versions that gave me all of these presets. On to more features. Passing the mouse over the first one shows that it's been purchased, and likely no download is required. But the next one, Ammunition, has a download arrow, and I'll need to download and install it. And there are several like this. Back to Instruments. I'll click on the Download button on Analog Synths 2, and it starts downloading. When done, up pops the Download Manager with a list of everything that I have to download and install. I'll close the screen for now. Back under Instruments, there's a different type of button on Analog Synths 2, which says Download Finished, Install Now. So there's more than one way to do this. I'll click on this and I'm informed that admin rights are needed to install this. That's me, so okay. It goes through the install process, and at the end the icon goes up to the Instruments tab, ready to be used. I'll go to More Presets and download the first one, Plus Presets Revolta. It's downloaded and the Download Manager pops up again for me to install it. Well, going one by one would take all day, so I'll click on the Download All button and away it goes. The Soundpools at the top start downloading and installing by themselves, but you'll still have to install many of the other items by clicking on the Install button and going through the entire process. I'll start with Vita Sampler. This can take quite a while and you have to make sure that they are all installed. Once done, let's take a look at what we have. Under More Features, I see that I have a balance at the bottom of the screen of 7 features packages that I can use. I noticed that I didn't have multi-core support, as it's quite new. Click on the I button for information, and I'll purchase it. The price is 0, and it shows that I'm using a voucher to pay for it. Buy now. I may have to log in again. Then it shows Acquired. Let's check the others. Under Presets, when I mouse over the buttons, I see that I have the first one but not the second one, but I have the others. Under Instruments, I have them all. Remember, under the gear I selected Show Purchased Items. I'll turn it off, and they all vanish but one, Saxophonia. I'll open the information, And since I have one voucher left, I'll use it. Click on Purchase, and the price is 0 again, and it shows that I'm using a voucher to pay. Buy now. I have to log in again. Then it starts downloading it, but I had already downloaded it, so it shows as acquired. Next, I'll go to the Instruments tab, not under the store, scroll down, and there's Saxophonia, ready to be used. Back to more features. Now I see only those that I have not purchased. I'll purchase Amphibia. It goes through the same process, uses a voucher, downloads it, but this time when it says acquired, up pops the download manager telling me to install Amphibia. Before finishing up, let's take a look at what we have on the screen. The upper left is the Arranger window where you'll create your song. At the bottom of this window is the Transport Control. Below is what is called the Control tab, where you'll find the on-screen keyboard, templates, and Object Inspector. To the right is the Media Pool that we've already looked at. At the very top right are two buttons that turn off and on the Control tab and the Media Pool. Now that everything's installed, go back to the project settings under File as we did before, or simply click on the setting gear at the top. Go to the Folders tab, and you now have access to VSTs. Click on the Project Settings button at the bottom, and you now have access to more tracks. Lastly, before using your coupons for getting instruments and Soundpools, make sure that you've activated any new or previous versions of MusicMaker and Samplitude Music Studio, have downloaded and installed everything, and then check carefully which instruments and Soundpools you really need and want. Watch for special sales on these. Good. I think you've got the point and are able to install the program, update it, activate serial numbers, and download and install everything to which you're entitled. Take a look at the Magix tutorials on the magix.com site, and also see my tutorial on Soundpools, and watch for my tutorials on MusicMaker and Movie Edit Pro. Thank you for watching. Till next time, enjoy.